Are you ready for it?
Whoa. Here I come.
Oh.
Here I come.
Here we go. Episode 9, Leather and Lumber Podcast, presented by Lynx Baseball. Lynx Baseball is sponsored by Marucci. Marucci is the official game bat of Major League Baseball. Marucci, honor the game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, great episode for you today. A lot of people on the show today. We have our Victus groups, the 2027 and 2028 Victus team coaches. Gentlemen, what's going on? How we doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good.
Well, that good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Appreciate you having us, John.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. Guys, this is going to be a fun time. We are going to get into this quickly. We have a lot of teams, a lot of players to discuss. Let's go around with some introductions. I'm going to do the 2028 team first. Head coach Jimmy Blunt. Jimmy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jimmy. I am from Roanoke, Virginia. I grew up in Southwest Virginia, where the travel ball scene was kind of bare. That's when I was approached by my head varsity baseball coach, Jeremy Cromer, who at the time was the 2023 East Coast Dodgers scout team coach, to come work out with the guys down in the old DPC facility. And I did. And that's when, in the summer of 2021, I became teammates with Tim on the Drillers. Head coach was Sam Rappaport. That was probably the most fun summer I ever had playing baseball. Stuck with the Dodgers. Next summer, I was on the 2023 Southeast team. I went through the recruiting process a little bit. Then I made a personal decision to go to my dream school, Virginia Tech, where I am a student manager now. Going into college, the summer before, I was with the Canes organization. I didn't feel like it was a fit. Their morals, their values didn't fit me and how I saw the game of baseball. So I came back to Jon last summer, and this organization's always been home for me. It was good to me in high school. It's always been good to me, and just happy I'm here to contribute for a second summer. I was coached with Chris last summer, and I feel like we were very successful. We work really well together. I enjoy working with his son Chase, and last summer was I grew as much as I saw the players grow, and that meant a lot to me. And I'm a better coach and better person because of it. So,
yep, yeah, Jimmy, we are very happy to have you and thankful that you're back. Helping out these young kids. Pitching coach on the 2028 team, Chris Davidson.
So I'm from Atlanta, Marietta, baseball country. Grew up watching the Braves. Went to a nationally ranked high school, Lassiter High School. Those are probably some of the best seasons that for my memory that I had. I'm an East Cobb guy. I know that the reputation, but hey, it works, and I'm proud of it. And let's see, I pitched at Western Carolina out of East Cobb. I got drafted by the Orioles in the 4th round. I left my junior year and played for the Orioles. Unfortunately, I couldn't shake the injury bug. And after 3 seasons, I had to hang it up. It was just a lot going on. So I had some downtime. I had a hard time being away from the game until Chase's love brought me back. Since he's been playing, I've been coaching. I had my own travel team for several years. The opportunity came to come over to the Dodgers. I think that was 2022, if I'm not mistaken, the fall of 2022.
Right.
Kids, our team just got through Little League. It was time to make that next step. This opportunity opened. I jumped all over it. Jon welcomed me with open arms. Ever since, I've been working with the pitchers for the organization, and I've been just the assistant coach with the 28s. I'm still a dad. I don't want that daddy baseball label. My job, Jimmy does the X's and O's. He does the lineups. I'm there just to make sure that the kids are better when they leave than when they got there. That's what I want. And Jimmy does a great job with everything else. my passion now is passing my knowledge on to these boys, and that's just what I enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's a real blessing to have former major league guys working with our staff, with our pitching guys especially. We've got quite a few ex-pros that work with us. And Chris is a Raleigh guy, right? He's here full time, so huge help when he's not fighting crime. He's on the ball field helping our pitchers.
Yeah, I retire soon. I retire soon, Johnny, when I'm done and I'm
then it's full-time baseball guy.
Yeah,
you can take my job then. Okay, the 2027 team. Joe, go ahead, bud.
Hey, what's up? My name is Joe Curcio. I'm originally from right outside of Philly, and then went to high school in New Jersey. So I'm a tri-state Northeast guy. Northeast, players, they know how to play. They're gritty, playing in the ice and snow. But went to the Division I college of LIU at the time, LIU Brooklyn. Got a couple accolades as an outfielder there. Won a conference championship my sophomore year. That was fun. And then transferred over to Pace University. It was a D2 up in New York. Transferred there for just a better education and also baseball. Played with a bunch of great guys at both LIU and Pace, and had a chance to go the affiliate route. Turned that down and went back and got my master's. Started coaching down here. Started coaching with Roseville High School as their assistant coach, hitting coach for a semester, and then I decided I wanted to go back and play, so I went and played the indie ball route for a year, and then the international circuit for a year over in Hamburg, Germany, and now I'm back coaching and have, like I said, been coaching around North Wake, Wake County for a couple years now, and had the chance to come on board here with Lynx Baseball, and I'm excited to be here. So excited to be around the game more. So
nice. And then our listeners kind of know this kid has been talked about on many a podcast already. Definitely a coach's favorite and one of the original Dodgers guys. Two-way Tim Hudson.
Hey guys, I'm Tim. I'm, like John said, a local guy. I'm from Raleigh. I went to school in a small school called Carvance Academy. Played there. I've been around this Lynx Dodgers organization for a long time. People like Jon Link, Dennis Delgado, Manny Beltran. I've had a great support group with them throughout my whole baseball career. I'm currently a freshman. I'm a right-handed pitcher at Nichols College, which is a Division III school in Massachusetts, about an hour outside of Boston. We're right in the middle of our season. We got 4 games coming up, and this will be my first year coaching, but I'm really pumped about it. I love thinking about baseball. I love watching baseball, and I've always wanted to coach. So this year, getting my first opportunity, I'm super pumped for it.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's jump in. We are going to go with the 2028 team first. We're going to start with the roster. We're going to start with the Brogdon twins. Grayson Brogdon. Chris, what do you got on Grayson?
Well, both twins are incredible dual sport athletes. I know they both play football. Both of them guest played for us last season for one. Was it just one tournament, Jimmy? I believe. Yeah,
it was one tournament.
Yeah, and then they played with us in the fall, and that was their first season with the Dodgers / Lynx. Grayson, I think Grayson did a great job, but he had a nice long relief outing for us. Came in, threw strikes. Landon, same thing. I think Landon hit the ball great. Both of them are competitors. I feel like when they get used to this team, their energy and spirit is going to start showing, and it's going to start feeding into some of our other players. I mean, we need that spark, and I think these two are gonna bring it, that energy and passion that I've seen out of them in the past.
That weekend that they played with us, I think that was the worst weekend we had last summer. And they were the one bright spot. I remember joking with you at the end of the weekend that I couldn't tell I still didn't know which one was Grayson and which one was Landon, but I know I wanted them both to come along with us full time. They provided a spark to us all weekend.
Yeah.
So my goal,
I still can't tell them apart. I see them once a week and can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
My goal is maybe by July I'll be able to tell which one's which.
Yeah. Let's jump to a newcomer, Giancarlo Cuesta. Guys, you guys don't know Giancarlo. I've only seen video of him. He was recommended by our 2027 scout team coach, Johnny Montañez, up in the Connecticut, upstate New York area. Giancarlo goes to a really, really good prep school up in the Connecticut area. Catcher, big time hitter, plays some third base. Young player, but kind of like the Brogdon boys, spark plug, good baseball mind. Really, really looking forward to seeing him. For the first time, join our group. Let's go to Mikey Fitzgerald. Jimmy, what do you got on Mikey?
In terms of kids that I coached last summer and got to work with, Mikey grew the most as a baseball player. Behind the dish, he was uncoordinated. Some things didn't click at the beginning. His approaches at the plate in June were not where I wanted them to be. And by the time we were at the end of July, he was putting up 9-10 pitch at bats consistently, hitting the ball hard, situationally hitting. Behind the plate, he got smarter, he got tougher. I was really, really excited with where Mikey finished last summer. I'm really excited that I get to work with him again because I feel like if we can have the same growth last summer, this summer, I think Mikey's going to turn into a really, really good baseball player. He's a fierce competitor. He's very, very competitive. He's naturally gifted with his build. He's a strong-looking kid. He is strong. So I'm really excited to work with Mikey again this summer.
Yep.
Yeah, we threw a lot at him last year. I don't know what coaching he had before, but I know that it looked like he was overwhelmed. But that tournament that we won, and I forget which one it was, but it was one that we finished up at UNC Chapel Hill.
Yeah,
that was by far his best tournament, and it was a different kid. And I told him after that, you screwed yourself because I know what you're capable of now, and I expect this. I expect it out of you. But I think another problem that was difficult for him to deal with is that we had 3 catchers last year, and it was hard for him to get into a rhythm. So I feel like he's going to get more reps this year, and he's just going to improve. And you pull for him. He wants to learn. He loves the organization, and you can't. That's all we ask for. And he travels 2 hours to come to practice, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yep.
I mean, it's
Close to it.
The desire is there.
Yeah.
So and yeah, I'm excited for him. I think he's going to get a lot of reps, and I think he's going to do great. Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to have Mikey back. He's the attitude that you want, in your organization. He does things the right way. Let's move to who I believe is one of the most improved players for this offseason. Let's go to infielder Thomas Greer. Chris?
I am extremely, extremely proud of Thomas. I had Thomas with my travel team. I know Thomas for a long time. He is a trust the process guy. That's what this Victus team is. We just develop. Kids develop later. And he's starting to develop, and it's you put in the work and understand it, and when your body starts to catch up to your knowledge, then you're big things are going to start happening. And what did he hit 776 at pro day, John? I mean, I think that was like a 5 mile per hour boost from when I last saw him.
8 mile per hour boost.
Yeah, and I think we looked at each other and was like, all right,
here we go,
because he's got the best curveball on the team. And he starts throwing upper 70s, and I'm hoping that he starts sniffing 80 by the end of the year. With that curveball, he's going to be tough to hit. But it's fun. It's fun when you start seeing the progression, and knowing where they are, where they were, and where they're getting, and where they're heading, and what they're and just knowing that they were capable of, and then seeing it, it's fun. So I'm excited to see what he does this year, and it's going to be good to watch. And like I said, I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I can't talk about Thomas enough. I mean, he's a good baseball player, but he's even a better person. He's easy to root for. He's easy to work with. And, I talked about with Mikey that I saw Mikey last summer grow the most out of a baseball player. I saw Thomas grow the most mentally out of anybody that I worked with. He kind of started to break out of his shell a little bit at the end of the summer, started to become more confident. That's the stuff that that when we talk about like important things on the field, that's also important off the field. But in terms of baseball stuff, Thomas was our best relief pitcher last summer by far. We brought him in some really tough situations, and he always got the job done. He always commanded the zone well. He always was stone-faced on the mound. I got the spreadsheet pulled up right now. I'm seeing 83 exit velo. You said the 76. Like that. If Thomas can continue to grow into his body and get stronger, the sky's the limit for him. Because just really, really excited to work with Thomas again this summer.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that you start him, you can long relief, or he's just an excellent tool to have, or come in and close a game. And
he'll do whatever he asks.
Yes.
Chris, I'm really glad that you said kind of trust the process, and I think two of these guys that we have on this podcast right now are like the epitome of trust the process, right? Tim wasn't a finished product when we first got him our first year when he was with the Drillers. Like, he just wasn't, and neither was Jimmy, right? They were teammates, same team, right? We didn't have a Southeast group. We were, running the Dodgers scout team, and we thought, you know what? We're going to name our other team after the AA team, the Trust the Process team. Something that we do in this organization is we don't turn kids down because maybe they're undersized, right? Or they're not as strong as physically as some of these other players are. We give them a spot and we allow them to develop. And I think these two young men that we have in front of us here are prime examples of why we do that, right? Jimmy had an opportunity to play college baseball. He chose Virginia Tech to get an education. I mean, there's worse decisions that you can make in life, right? And I just think that, like, this is the main reason why we have this team. And I think
I'm a trust the process guy.
Yeah.
I was 180. It wasn't until I was well into my career before I finally got my body, and they develop at different ages. It's just different, but
that's right.
That's Thomas. I'm super super proud of him. And I can't wait to see what he does this year.
Yep. Let's go to who I think, Thomas, definitely our most improved infielder. I think our most improved outfielder in Ray Hamburger. Chris, you've seen Ray last. What do you got on Ray?
He was hitting the daylights out of the ball this offseason at DBAT. I mean, he's gotten bigger. He's always been this sort of upright, but I mean, he's back on that back leg now, and the power was. I mean, it was scout team power from what I saw. But Ray is a outfielder. He was catcher converted
catcher converted to outfielder.
Yeah, and
right. He just didn't have the want to catch.
Yeah, exactly. And I struggled with that when I first started coaching Ray. I struggled with, and I wasn't frustrated with him. I was frustrated with how do I get through to him the importance of a lot of the things that I need to see from him, because I wasn't sure how he felt about the game. I know it didn't seem like he was happy catching, but he wasn't hustling a lot. But and since I said that, I mean, the last tournament, Jimmy, or the last season, one of our last tournaments, I think it was an infield single he legged out or something.
Yeah.
And it led to a massive inning for us, and we ended up winning the game. But that, I did not see that when I first started coaching him, and then I saw it. And it's just so nice to see whenever things start to click with these kids, and everything that you try and instill in them, and they do, and then you see it on the field. It's so nice, and yeah, Ray is gonna. I'm excited to see what Ray does with the bat this year. It's gonna be good. I think he's gonna start taking that next step to the next level.
Yeah, I got a story that basically describes Ray's progression last summer. Is very last game of our season last summer. We had ran out of arms. We had played too many games for the amount of players we had on our roster. We were in a consolation game. It had been a successful weekend, but consolation game, out of arms. We were up 2 or 3 runs. We brought in Ray, who hadn't pitched all summer for us, and he came in and got a 3-inning save for us. Yeah. He said he wanted to, and he did, and he had fun with it. And that was that was really telling about who he is as a person, not just as a baseball player. But Ray and I talked a lot last summer about connected swings. There's a lot of times that his approach at the plate was off kilter, and that I use the word discombobulated, but a lot of his swings were. And I just wanted to see him have connected swings. And when he had those connected swings, when his mechanics were on point, his swing was the best we had on our team last year. Just mechanically, it was the best swing we had. Once again, he didn't have the most amount of power. He wasn't the strongest kid, but he had the best swing. And towards the end of the summer, we saw better swings. We were seeing his A swing every at bat. And so I think if Ray can continue to grow into his body, get stronger, that's really, really good to hear what he's been doing this offseason. I think he's going to be a really, really important part of our lineup.
Yep. Let's go to utility guy, Tatum Welker. I know you guys don't know Tatum very well. We had him a few times at DBAT. I think another one of those real trust the process guys, kind of undersized, growing into his body a little bit. Going to play a lot of different positions for this team, infield, outfield, probably see some innings on the mound. Tatum being a new guy to the organization, just really excited to see what he brings to the table, and being able to fill in for some guys that are going to see some two-way duties like Thomas Greer and Ray Hamburger. Let's go to some guys that are going to be more not pitcher onlys, but a little bit more on the pitching centric side of it. Grady Walker. Chris, do you remember Grady from Scout Day?
I do. I thought Grady when we were at DBAT, I thought Grady was a 29 Scout player or 27 Victus. I did not know that he was ours, and when you told me he was ours, I was very excited. He's perfect for me. Again, he's undersized. He's going to get nothing but bigger, faster, stronger. And his
dad is an absolute house.
Yeah,
he is a unit. If he ever turns out to be that size, he will throw 100.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's already got command of the strike zone. Does he have 3 pitches? I know he's got a nasty breaking ball.
3. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
He's a pitcher. He's a pitcher,
yes.
and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be able to work with him this summer.
Yep. Another guy who's going to pitch mostly for us, Chipper. I'm going to butcher your name, Chipper, and I apologize. Mm-hmm. I think it's Bradenbro. Chipper goes to NRCA, I think, with Henry Dement. New guy to the organization. I think we added him like 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. Left-handed arm, outfield type. He can really throw it. Really good changeup, pretty good breaker. One of those guys who I think if we can get him to throw the ball over the dish is going to eat a ton of innings, because the mechanics are funky, they're unorthodox, and the ball just comes out of nowhere. I'm really, really looking forward to watching Chipper compete and play at this type of level. Chris, I don't know if you know Chipper at all.
No, I do not. That's a great baseball name, though.
It isn't it?
Yeah.
Great baseball name. Let's skip to somebody that we all know. Jimmy, newsflash for you. Henry Dement wants to be a PO. So, he came to me and he he told me Henry was like, you know what? I'm not sure I want to play baseball anymore. And I was like, why? And he's like, hitting's really hard and I'm not having fun. And I told him, I said, well, Henry, dude, you got a live arm. Like, you ever think about pitching? And he's like, yeah. So I was like, well, dude, come in the gym. Like, let's throw some pens and see what you got. And it is like super low 3/4 to sidearm. Ball is going every which direction, and he throws it over the dish. On top of the fact that it's like 77 to 80 from that slot. I mean, it is. He made some. We threw live at bats with Henry. He made some really good hitters look really uncomfortable. Chris, what you got on Henry?
I think I talked to his dad a while ago and told him that I think Henry will be an outstanding pitcher. And I think that he had some confidence about his velocity or something like that. But again, that's what this team's about. Just we'll get you the reps and we'll wait on the size and the strength. But he is going to do great this summer if we get, because I mean he pitched. I think he came in relief that last game, that last tournament of the season, if I'm not mistaken, Jimmy. And
we used him
upper 70s.
We used him multiple times.
Yeah, but I think his best outing was that last outing, and it just gave us a glimpse of what he's capable of. And when if he's fully focused on pitching, he's just going to excel, and he's going to get nothing but better. But like you said, yeah, 3/4 sidearm delivery, that arm slide, that natural movement. Towards the end of the year, I was trying to have him throw breaking bar. John, I know you've been working with him, but I was telling him to throw that breaking bar as hard as he could, and that thing was just falling off the table. He's got the stuff. He's got the
Absolutely.
stuff. I mean, he's undersized right now. He's just going to get bigger and stronger.
Yep.
But you can't teach that natural movement, and he's got it. But I think he's going to have a great season. I think I am going to miss him in the outfield.
He can run it down, can he?
Yeah, he's an incredibly great defensive outfielder. And Jimmy, we might want to consider throwing him out there sometimes because he can go get it. But and he's so natural out there too. It's beautiful to watch. But yeah, when he's fully focused on pitching, he's going to do great, and I'm excited to watch him.
Yep. Now, Chris, I'm not gonna put you through the struggle of talking about your own son, so I'm gonna let Jimmy take Chase. Jimmy, go ahead. Chase Davidson.
I will gladly talk about Chase. I actually see a lot of my younger self in Chase. He's a perfectionist. You can tell that he's a perfectionist. He's very hard on himself. He plays up to his competition. When we were playing teams that you could just tell were much bigger, much more experienced than us, that's when Chase pitched his best. And that's the kind of stuff that I like. I like underdogs. I like to believe that I was one myself. I was surrounded by underdogs, especially with the drillers. Chase kind of represents that mentality. And I love that. There's obviously glaring holes within Chase's game. And obviously that has, that's all stuff that can be fixed. It's putting on weight. It's, being consistent, overcoming adversity, all that stuff. But Chase is a outstanding individual, and he's a fierce competitor. And I felt really comfortable anytime we put him on the mound last year to start, no matter what, because he was going to go out there, he was going to fill up the zone, he was going to get us out of jams, and he was going to come off the mound pumping his fist, smiling like that. That's the kind of competitor that I like to be surrounded by.
Well, I think the one thing about Chase is you always knew you were getting his best.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
You always knew you were getting his best when you wrote his name on the lineup card. Right. And that's one thing that, again, trust the process. You might not be big and strong now. You just wait. Right. And that's, definitely, Chris, I don't think you could have said that better. The mantra of this tean. Yes. Trust the process.
Yeah,
right.
That's why I enjoy coaching it.
Yep.
Because like I said, I was that guy. I was never invited to the it wasn't until I was 16 until I got invited to East Cobb. It was a lot of I saw a lot of players that were vastly superior than I was, but they just peaked. But I just, and I tell the boys, never, just don't stop improving, and you will catch them and you will surpass them. And that's why I like this team.
Yep. Last but not least, another new player to the organization, Andrew Causey. Hasn't played competitive baseball before this JV season in 18 months. Arm issues, injury bug kind of hit him. He's actually a 27 who's age eligible to play 28, and we're going to play him down because of the fact that he hasn't been on the circuit in so long. I don't think it's fair to him to play him up and kind of throw him in the fire when the last real travel ball he saw was more than 2 years ago. I just don't think that that's fair to him. Another pitcher, strike thrower, outstanding breaking ball. Change up, split finger is a new pitch for him, but he really locates his fastball and has a nasty breaking ball. Chris, I don't know if you know Andrew at all.
I had one bullpen with him this offseason at DBAT, and I absolutely fell in love with his two-seam fastball.
Oh yeah,
that thing is nasty, and that was my bread and butter. And I remember, I think Dave, right after his bullpen, Dave asked me, my thoughts on him playing down. And I said,
please.
absolutely, please. But yeah, he threw a great bullpen with me, and like I said, that two seam was the best I've seen in a while. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to have. What other position does he play? Is he a two-wayer?
Yeah, he's going to play some third base.
Okay.
Probably play some outfield. He'll do a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Andrew. It's gonna be. The pitching that we have on this team, it's gonna be
really good.
Yeah, and they're all very, very similar. They're all gonna throw strikes. They're all gonna have multiple pitches. It's gonna be. We're gonna be in a lot of games.
Yep, that's the important thing, man. Right? Pitching wins ball games, and you guys got a ton of it.
Yep.
All right, we are going to shoot over to the 2027 team. Joe and Timmy, you guys are up. First guy that I want to talk about, Trey Anderson. Trey, former scout teamer, pitches for the scout team. He will continue to pitch a little bit for the scout team, but wanted to play a position, wanted to get some work in. As a position player, I think that this is the time for him to do that. Tim, I know you haven't seen Trey, but I know that you've done a little bit of research. Anything stand out to you with Trey?
I got a couple things on him. I've never seen him play, but I worked out with him at Performance Lab for a long time, and I know he's a super hard worker, super strong, super dedicated, and that's going to go a long way for him. And it's going to go a long way for anyone. But, I mean, I'm looking at the metrics from Pro Day, 3.85 He's incredibly fast.
That's good.
High exit velo, high pitching velo. He's got all the metrics there. Super excited to see him play.
Yep. Joe, you remember Trey from Scout Day?
I do. I actually know Trey's family from outside of baseball. So wonderful kid, wonderful family. Trey reminds me of Brett Gardner, a little stocky, speedy lefty bat in the lineup that, could play the outfield for us. And I'm excited to, coach Trey. And I can tell that he's got that work ethic.
Yeah,
he's
he
a
does.
grinder. He's been over at Franklin Academy for playing varsity for both years now. And if I talk to that coach, I think the first thing he'd say is hey, he puts his head down and he hustles.
Yep.
So and that's one of the major things I look for in kids that I coach is being coachable and just guys that can get out there and do anything to win the game for the team. So I'm excited to see Trey play in person. So
yep.
It felt like every time I was in the weight room,
Yeah.
Trey was also in the weight room back when
all the time.
I was in high school. Yep.
He was in there all the time. I think he was in there too much sometimes. Had a little injury bug, like for real. Like had a little injury bug. Like he's so strong. There's like no fat on this kid. And for whatever reason, like he couldn't kick this groin injury that he had. I think it was too much weight room. But that's a fine line, right? Growing up, learning when is enough and when is too much, right? Next guy I want to talk about, left-handed pitcher, first baseman Jackson Bauer. Jackson goes to Wake Forest High School. Plays on their JV team, although I don't think he's really a JV guy. The way that Wake Forest does some things kind of make you scratch your head every now and then. But, 3-pitch mix on the mound, ton of swing and miss. Tim, what do you got on Jackson? Anything?
On top of being a pitcher, I also have a 94 exit velo from a rising junior.
There you go.
I mean, he hits the ball hard.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
But, I mean, I've been a starting pitcher for as long as I can remember. He's going to be a starter for us. He's going to throw a bunch. He's going to fill up the zone. It's going to be
nasty breaking ball too. His breaking ball is gross. Joe?
Timmy said what I was going to say. He just hits the ball hard, man. When he makes contact, he hits the ball flush. He's consistent with the barrel, and that's that. What more can you ask for? Putting the ball in play hard. So I'm excited to see him, and I love lefty pitchers, lefty. I mean, what more can you ask for? And
you're left-handed.
I'm biased, okay? I'm biased.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to let's get to your catcher. Let's get to Gavin Mosler. Joe, you and I had a little conversation about him earlier today. Go ahead.
Every time I'm in there, either whether it was the workouts in the winter or when he's coming in working with you, John, I'm just mesmerized by his swing. He's got the build to be something special as he gets older. As he fills out, as he figures stuff out at the plate. Like we were talking earlier, John, his swing reminds me a lot of Jack Gaglione. And when he learns to be consistent with staying on the inside of the ball, driving the ball all fields, he's going to be dangerous. I think he's going to be a very dangerous player as he gets older, and he's going to be a big part of our lineup, I think, this summer. So,
Tim, you got anything to add? You're shaking your head like you got something.
Yeah, I met a lot of these kids over the winter at DBAT, and Mosler was 100% the first guy that jumped out at me. Big frame, big left-handed swing. And when I was talking to John about it, I said, he's a scout team guy, right? And I found out that he was going to be on my team, and I was completely stoked. I mean, great swing, he's got to start using the whole field a little more. He's a big pole guy, but big catcher, good pop time from what I'm seeing, very high exit velo, going to be probably a middle of the order guy for us.
Chris, you had a chance to coach Gavin in the fall. What do you got on him?
Loved him. Absolutely loved him. And the way he handles pitchers is outstanding. And
love that.
Banks couldn't say enough great things about him as well. But he hit the daylights out of the ball for us in the fall.
He's super athletic too.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a catcher, he's the build. He's there's something there. He's got that little it factor. And what I like about it is he's not jumping all over the organ. He knows he's getting good coaching, and he's just I don't want to say content, but he's in the right place.
He's in the right moment too. Like he's always in the moment. Right. He's never thinking about the future or the past.
Yes,
let's stay in the moment.
Yes.
Let's perform in the moment.
Yep. And yeah, the sky's the limit for him when he adds to that frame he's already got. And like I was super impressed. I love it.
Yep.
Another thing I noticed with him is he's always carrying around his notebook. He's taking notes. Coaches are giving him pointers. He's writing them down. He's studying them. He's just super, super focused.
That's awesome.
It's very advanced for such a young player. Right. It's a very advanced mind for such a young player. And I think that, sometimes just like all these boys, the game can speed up on them a little bit. They get a little scatterbrained. But when you have somebody that thinks the way that he does, that has the wherewithal to write stuff down and take some notes, right? Mistakes tend not to happen twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a big deal, especially as a catcher. Let's go to the infield a little bit. Let's go to Ryder Mowbray. Joe, what do you got?
I'm excited to coach Ryder because, like Gavin, I'm biased again for lefties, but I've been following him on his year at Millbrook, and he's just been hitting the cover off the ball. He's definitely going to be a top of the order guy for us, and what I've seen in the cage when we were at DBAT, he drives the backside well. He's hitting to all fields, and anybody, I like to say anybody can pull a ball, right?
Yeah.
But not as you continue to grow and to get to the next level. Coaches know that you can pull the ball, but coaches are looking for guys that are going to drive the ball to all fields and can help the team any way they can. And I think Ryder's going to be one of those guys for us. He's hitting well right now, and I think he's going to carry that over into the summer. And I can't wait to coach him and see what he has as shortstop. From just the couple times I've gotten to seeing him take reps at short, smooth. He's got quick feet, good hands, and he's going to get the ball. And he's going to make a lot of plays at short for us.
He can really pick it over there. Stats guy Timmy, what do you got?
I actually don't have much on him, but I've heard nothing but great things about the Mowbrays. I'm excited. I know when I was younger, I didn't like playing with my brother, but we have 2 pairs of brothers on this team, so that's going to be interesting.
Yes, we do. That is true. The other Mowbray, Xander, you guys talk about him. I need some ice.
Yeah. Xander, he's athletic, and I've had him a couple times in the cage. Like, he can hit the cover off the ball. I think once he learns that, use that lower half more consistently, he's gonna be an all-around hitter. I haven't seen him that much in the field. Timmy, if you know more about him.
Unfortunately, I don't. But what I do have is that he's going to get some innings on the mound. So another two-way guy that we have.
Yeah, we had him at first over the fall, Joe, and he made some incredible plays over there. He's a great defensive first baseman. I'm not sure if that's his natural position, but that's where we had him playing. And I mean, he was flawless over there. Made a couple of diving stops. Pitcher covering first, perfect throw. Everything was good. But yeah, and I think John's got him pitching, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's big and strong, man.
Yeah.
And the swing sometimes gets a little too big, right? And in case it gets a little too big at the wrong time, I want him to have something to fall back on.
Right.
Right. Swing gets big at 88 miles an hour, you might have a tough time getting the barrel to where it needs to go. So just in case it gets a little too big at the wrong time for him, I started him pitching. Throws a ton of strikes. I mean, for a guy that didn't come up as a pitcher, like, that's rare air. Like, you don't find those guys. Kind of almost like Henry a little bit, Chris.
Yeah. Both him and Ryder, though, baseball players. They love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
And
Do it the right way, too.
Yep.
Do it the right way.
And both of them seem very coachable.
Yes, extremely.
Well, they have a dad that's a coach. That helps.
Yeah.
Right. Unlike my kids who thinks dad doesn't know anything. They told me that the other day. My 7-year-old, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, buddy. Sure thing. Let's go to Bryce Rodolini. Joe, you are the reason Bryce is here. Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of coaching not only Bryce but a couple of 28s since they were 13, even 12 even. And Bryce is one of those guys who comes in, plays the game the right way. He's a great team guy, and he just works hard. He wants to get better every day. And I heard from his JV coach at Wakefield when he walked on for tryouts this year. They said, "Hold on, is that the same Bryce Rodolini we saw last year?" they said he drastically just changed his game and for the better. His swing has come a long way. I mean, he's getting away from that golf swing, which he loves to play. But when he actually focuses on that baseball swing, he's going to be, great for us. And I just can't say enough good things about Bryce. I love coaching him. He's a great team guy, and he's going to be, one of those guys that's always picking his teammates up, no matter what.
If he wants to golf, they make a position for that on the baseball field. I know it well. Chris, I'm sure you do too. So that doesn't have anything to, all those nice stuff you're saying about Bryce doesn't have anything to do with his dad owning the facility that we work at, does it, Joe?
No comment.
No comment. There we go. All right, let's go to our second set of brothers. Let's go to Logan Welsh. Joe.
Yeah, Logan is one word that always comes to mind when I think of Logan is scrappy.
Oh yeah.
He's quick in the outfield. He can go run a fly ball down. He's going to steal some bases for us. He's another, top of the order guy that can get on base. And if he just uses his speed in his game, he's going to go a long way.
He's the spark plug, man. He's
yep.
the spark plug for this team. And
I can relate. Like, speed was a huge part of my game, and that's why I was so successful, because I used my speed. But I had the pleasure of knowing Logan, because we'll talk about his brother Landon, who I coached previously. But Logan was always a joy to be around, and I can't wait to actually coach him this year and watch, like you said, be the spark plug and watch him just be scrappy on that baseball field.
Stats man Timmy, what do you got?
I don't have any stats, but he's.
You didn't look at the sheet for Scout Day?
I have the sheet right in front of me, but I know something that I want to say is that he's a 2028, correct?
No. The brother's a 2028.
That's the brother. It's my fault.
Yeah. Yes, the brother's a 2028. No, Logan's a 27. By the way, Joe, that kid has a cannon for an arm.
Mm-hmm.
Left-handed, absolute hose from the outfield. Chris, what do you got on him? You coached him in the fall.
Yeah, loved him. I think we had him and Henry in the outfield, and nothing dropped. And some of the balls that he tracked down, I mean, for sure doubles. And it was, it's just, as a pitcher, it's just so beautiful to see.
Yep.
It's a two-base hit, but it turns into an out. But like you guys said, scrappy, perfect leadoff hitter, gets on base. Again, he's a baseball player.
Yeah.
He's a baseball player, and that's a huge compliment.
Yep. Let's talk about little brother Landon. Go ahead, Joe. I know you've been waiting for this for 47 minutes right now.
Yes. Landon was my guy. One word I can say about him is he's always looking to get better, but he takes every inning, every pitch, and he learns from it, which is awesome to see at such a young age. And I think that throwing him to be a grade level above, he's going to rise to the occasion. Coaching him, last year he was my second baseman, played every game from the summer and the fall. And he just everything you could ask of him, he would do. He's got a great eye at the plate. He's going to walk a lot. He's going to get on base, and he's got a little sweet stroke from the right side, can go the other way well. And I just can say nothing bad about his defense. That kid will put his body on the line to keep a ground ball in the infield, which is, from what I've seen coaching, it's hard to come by these days. And he's willing to do anything it takes to win and help the team. And he was just a vacuum at second base for me last year. So nothing but good things to say about Landon.
Tim, there you go. You want to say something about the young brother?
Yeah. I'm the younger brother in my family, so I know how it is. But I also know that playing up is incredibly challenging. I did it when I was 14, back when I was a hitter. and it was very challenging. But the thing is, I learned a lot because of the adversity that I faced. And I'm excited to see how he does playing up. Facing a challenge, learning, playing probably against better competition than he's ever seen. So I'm excited for that.
Now, I'm not trying to throw the two older brothers under the bus, but word on the street is the youngest one's the best one.
I agree.
Joe? No, Tim. There's a younger one. He's 10.
He is going to be an absolute stud. Little lefty too. And he knows it. He knows he's going to be good.
He by far has the best hair in the family.
Oh, absolutely.
The flow is incredible. Tim, wait till you see this cat. He is something else. It is ungodly, his hair. If he plays for us, he's going to have to cut it, but it is the best hair in the family as of right now. So, yeah, I watched him practice the other day. He's incredible. All right, let's
glad to
go.
See we haven't, glad to see we haven't budged on the hair rule.
Oh, nor will we. Nor will we. I remember when Tim had to cut his. He bitched and complained every time he had to do it.
You looked at me
That's
my first
true.
practice and told me I had to cut my hair. So
yes, that happened
I
too.
think it's just a part of going through the organization.
That's right. But look at you now. Look at where you are now.
Yeah.
Sitting at Virginia Tech, working for the baseball team. Look at you.
Yeah.
Worst things
You're
could
right.
have happened. It was a haircut.
Yeah. A lot
Every
worse.
time I see Tim right now, he complains to me. All right, here we go. Trey Sykes, utility player. Joe, what do you got?
Yeah, I've only seen Trey a couple times. Good lefty swing. Can get long a little bit, but if he stays short, concise to the ball, he's gonna really be effective as a hitter. I don't know. I think he's being used as a two-way, right, for Millbrook JV.
Yep.
I haven't seen him throw any bullpens yet, but
Strikes, lots of them.
Good. But from what I've seen,
overpower you. He won't overpower you. You're not gonna throw it by you.
Good. But from what I've seen, I mean, he's just an all-around good kid. I mean, looks you in the eyes when you're talking to him, respectable, and I think he's going to be a nice addition to the squad, and he's going to be a coachable kid, and that's all you can ask for. And I think he's going to get better as the summer goes on, and he's going to be that kind of dark horse for us. So
yeah. Yep.
I love my utility guys, so I'm excited for that.
That's what you were. No wonder why you love him. Joe's left-handed. He loves lefties. You were utilitim for a long time. So I get it. I mean, totally understand. And for those listeners, for those of you that might not know, Tim is a pitcher in college. Tim was an all-state shortstop in high school, 2 years. He missed player of the year in 1A by like 3 hits. He had a bad series against somebody and took an 0 for like 6. And that he needed, if he'd have gotten 3 hits, he'd have won state player of the year. So fun fact, Tim Hudson.
I mean, thanks, John.
Let's go to a couple of the arms. Let's talk about Andy Needham, the big lefty.
I'll give you this, Timmy.
All right. I have that he's a bullpen guy, and bullpen guys sometimes get some slack for not starting, not getting the majority of the innings. But one of the biggest things I've seen in my first year of college baseball, moving from 6 to 7 to 9 innings, is that those bullpen guys are 100% just as important as your starters. Because in high school, you usually have a guy that goes 5, 6 innings. Bullpen only gets 1 to 2. But college baseball, I mean, you got to use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arms every game. So having bullpen guys like that, it's super, super important. I'm excited to see how he goes.
Chris, you saw Andy throw a few times in the fall.
I saw him one game in relief. I saw him throw an inning. Typical lefty, good off-speed stuff. I'm trying to recall. I remember I was impressed. I was like, man, Millbrook is just loaded with arms.
Yep.
Because I think we had 3, and I thought all 3 of them did outstanding. But yeah, I only saw a couple innings out of him, but I remember I was like, oh yeah, another great arm.
Yep. Big and strong is what I remember of him.
Yeah.
Big and strong. Good breaking ball. Good hook.
He's lefty, right?
Filled it up.
Yeah.
He filled it up. I've seen him throw a couple times. He filled it up. Let's go to Braden Enzer. Joe, do you know Braden?
Well, my first interaction was Braden was telling him that the pitchers were getting loose, and then you came over, John, and was like, no, pitchers are throwing way before. So first conversation I had, I lied to him, and I felt so bad. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I know how you pitchers get when you're getting ready, but watching his bullpen over at the scout day was awesome. Just filling up the zone. His fastball looked lively. I'm not going to speak too much because I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to pitching. I'll be the first one to admit it. But I mean, just I've been following the guys. And it looks like he's a big bullpen guy right now for Millbrook, or he's starting, but he's throwing the ball really well. He's got a .8 ERA this year in 16 innings. So I'm excited to have him and watch him pitch this summer.
Tim's eyes just lit up. 0.8 and 16.
I mean, I know I just talked about how important bullpen guys are, but I would say 100% the number one most important thing that I've learned this year compared to in high school is first pitch strike. You got to be ahead 0-1. You got to fill up the zone. And Braden's the guy that does that.
Yep.
And Braden, if you watch this, if you're a starter, I'm sorry that I'm lying about you for a second time.
All right, let's go to Anthony Gomez. Anthony's new arm, kind of funkier delivery, new to the organization. Chris, did you see Anthony throw it all in the?
I did. I don't think I did. I don't recall.
Scout day or any of the bullpens? I know you and Noah worked some of the bullpens at DBAT when we were working out.
No, I don't think I had them.
Gotcha. Joe, you have anything on Anthony?
I think once he grows into his body and he begins to, use it properly, I think he'll be an awesome arm.
Yeah.
But not to say he's not an awesome arm right now.
No, but here's the thing, man. Like, again, trust the process.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he's gonna be a trust the process guy, and if he continues to just trust the process and grow into his body and continue to throw strikes, and just this summer just come out for us and pound the strike zone, I think he's gonna be big for us.
Yep. Tim, I know you haven't seen. Well, you've seen Anthony before. I don't know if you've seen him throw. He was at a lot of those DBAT workouts. You got anything?
Good name. Good baseball name.
Good baseball name. Joe, I think you're right, man. I think he has to grow into his body, right? I think that's a lot of it. I think this is going to be the highest level of baseball he's played to date, right? So, we're going to see what the kid's made of, right? That's a part of it. All right. Last but not least, I am Nate. I'm going to butcher your last name, and I sincerely apologize. Joe, you and I kind of had a little discussion about this at DBAT a few hours ago. You want to take a shot at his last name? I've got a pronunciation, but I'm not sure if it's right, but I want you to take a shot at it.
I think it's I can see her.
That's what I was going with. That's good. We probably still butchered it, so Nate, we apologize. Yep. But so let's get to the baseball player. Joe?
I think and I can tell already, he's one of those guys that's going to hustle. I think right now, I think he's over at Green Hope and Cary, catching and pitching over there.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to see him off the mound at, if he was throwing bullpens or at prospect select, but I can tell he's going to be an awesome team guy, and I think he's one of those guys that's going to trust the process too. I think he's going to get a little bigger.
Got to get bigger, got to get stronger.
But I can tell he's going to put in the work.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do.
Yep. Tim, you got anything?
I mean, I agree with everything that you guys have said. The numbers currently aren't jumping out at you as metrics, but there's plenty of room to grow, plenty of room to get stronger. What this team's all
about. I think he's kind of going to be like the other half of Trey, right? I think you do a little bit of do everything, pitch, catch, play some outfield, maybe play a little infield, right? All the fun stuff, and there's plenty of reps to go around on that team, which is, the bonus as far as that's concerned. So, all right, that is your 2027 and 2028 Victus teams. Guys, let's take a few minutes and cover the schedules. Both groups are going down to West Palm early June. My favorite place on earth. I don't think any of you have had the pleasure of being with me in West Palm, but if you don't already know, ask Coach Delgado. I am the mayor. He will tell you. We're then going to the North Carolina Open. Both of you will go to Black Bear. The 27s are going to the PBR Southeast Select. The 28s are going to go to the South Carolina World Series. And then both of you are going up to the Northeast to Philly to play in the final event. Joey's hometown. He's excited. Anything that jumped out at the page to you guys as far as the scheduling goes? Tim, anything for you? You ran the circuit.
Yeah, I played in West Palm, played in Black Bear, played in Philly, did all these. I mean, West Palm's awesome, great restaurants. Just every time you go down there, you're there for 4 to 7 days, and it's awesome. It's warm, great weather, great food, great vibes, everything. Black Bear is a cool tournament too. Black Bear, you get to play at some really nice fields. I got to play at Clemson's field when I went down there. So I mean, we have a lot of really solid tournaments, a lot of good tournaments. That's going to be a great time.
Joe, anything that jumps out to you other than the fact that you get to go home?
I mean, I just love the schedule because I love good competitive baseball, and I think that's just what the summer's going to be. It's going to be a lot of good baseball on all sides. I know I haven't been to West Palm. I've played at Black Bear, played in the PBR, and actually coached at that tournament last year and had a great experience with the guys last year. We were able to go to the Braves affiliate. I got a former college buddy who pitches for the Rome Braves, so we got to go on the field and sing the national anthem with the players, and that was a treat. And just good to go home back to Philly in a tournament I used to play in all the time. So I'm just excited for this season in summer of just great baseball.
Jimmy, anything for you?
If I'm looking at this schedule as a player, I'm circling Black Bear. That is I don't want to say mentally challenging, but that is a tough tournament. That is high talent level. You could play anywhere from Anderson, South Carolina, to Clemson, to the North Carolina line. I don't remember the name of the high school, but my final day at Black Bear, we played on the same road as Augusta National. That road that Augusta National's on.
Yeah.
There is no consistency on where you will play, on who you will play. It is just tough, but it is fun baseball. It is the dead middle of summer. It's hot. That is a really, really, really well put together tournament and a really, really good learning opportunity for anybody.
Yep. Chris?
I love how we're bookending ours down to West Palm Beach to start it off and ending it in Philly. I know the Phillies are playing the Angels the day before we start, so I told Chase we'd try and catch that game. But I think me and Jimmy are on the road for 2 straight weeks. The way it lines up for us, because we're West Palm Beach, we go up to Charlotte, and then we're down to Greenville, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And, the way we're going to have to stagger arms is going to be. I think it's going to be incredible for the boys. It's going to be a taste of what life is going to be if they continue on this path.
Yep.
It's going to be great. And before this podcast started, I shared with you that that Virginia Tech tournament, that our open weekend.
Yeah.
So maybe if we got to get a hold of the parents and see if they want to add one in there, and Jimmy can show us around and get us into the facility. But we'll talk about that with the families.
Yeah. Any of the 2028 Victus parents listening to the podcast, we might try to put in another event for you guys to play up at Virginia Tech. Details coming soon. I'm gonna let Chris and Jimmy take care of that because
that'll be we go rogue on that one.
Yep, that's right. But you have my blessing. Tech is an awesome place to play baseball.
Yeah, and Jimmy's got the facilities for us.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
that's right.
Kind of building off Chris's point about being on the road for 2 straight weeks. Being a part of the Tech program, we just did that. We had a series at Wake Forest that we swept. Come home for 1 day, play midweek against Radford, and then we left on Wednesday for Notre Dame. We were going Wednesday through Sunday for 3-game series against Notre Dame, and that will tell you a lot as a baseball team, and it will tell you a lot as an individual. Being on the road, being away from home, not sleeping in your bed, waking up at an uncomfortable place, uncomfortable hotel bed, rolling out of bed, playing in an environment you're not used to. That will tell you a lot about who you are, and it will also tell you a lot about your team. We learned a lot of positive things as a program at Tech these past 2 weeks, winning back-to-back series on the road like that. But that's an important part for that Chris mentioned. That will be a really to start our summer. I'm really excited that's the way we start because I'll be able to learn a lot about our guys and how they react to certain situations very, very quickly.
Yep,
I love that.
Yep. No, the schedule's challenging, man. All of them. We build the schedules out to challenge the players, whether it's the 2030 team or the 2026 scout team, right? It's all the same, right? We build the schedules to challenge the players, and we get it. It can be challenging for the families at some points too, right? Getting days off of work. We understand, right? But these are things that the boys are going to go through if they're going to play at the next level, right? We try to prepare them for that now. All right. That is our Victus group. I think Tim and Jimmy are going to hang out with me for another 15, 20 minutes or so, talk about some guys. Chris, Joe, we appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for being on with us. We'll see you guys soon.
And I'll say one more thing before I leave. I know we talk about the players, but I can't wait to coach with Timmy, man. Just to hear, stories from the organization and from getting to know him a little bit at the DBAT workouts, man. I can tell, Tim, you're only a freshman, right? You're a sophomore.
I'm a freshman.
But just the baseball mind you have, brother. Like I can't wait to rely on you for a lot of the pitching stuff. Like I'm going to be honest, I don't know anything about pitching, and I'm going to rely on you for a lot. So I just can't wait to get to coach with you this summer and win some ball games.
Oh yeah, I really appreciate that. I mean, I am over the moon about coaching. I've been asking Jon to coach for the last 3 years. He never let me. He said, your freshman year, your summer after your freshman year, you can start. And now almost here. So I'm super excited.
Awesome. All right, guys. Chris, Joe, we will catch you guys on the flip side.
You.
Thanks for being on.
See you guys.
Good luck, everyone.
See you guys. All right, boys. Now, one of my favorite times of the podcast, and Jimmy was talking about earlier. He and Tim were former teammates. Some of the original guys that first played for our organization when we first started. Jimmy got here through my college teammate, Jeremy Cromer, who was his high school coach, and Jeremy coached with me on the 2023 scout team for that first summer. And Tim and Jimmy got to play for a former player of mine, Sam Rappaport. Actually, 3 former players that summer. It was Sam, and it was Jacob Williams, and it was Zach Lyon. All of them were in college. All of them were former players of mine. And, I thought, what a better way to keep my guys in the game than letting them coach. So Tim and Jimmy have known each other for a while. and we're going to get a chance to talk about some of their former teammates. First guy that I want to talk about, another OG with the Dodgers organization, one David Zilkowski at Mars Hill. I see the smile on both of your faces. What do you guys remember about Z?
Threw really hard.
Yeah, he did.
He was throwing 90 when he was like sophomore. I mean, super electric arm.
Yep. Jimmy?
Can also hit the shit out of the ball.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That explosive.
Real two-way guy.
I saw him do things at our age that I was not seeing other kids do. Live arm.
I think if I
exploded
remember
off his
correctly, he was
bat.
100% the
Say
best
that again?
player on our team that year.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
he
Overall,
was the
probably
most advanced. Yeah,
he was the best athlete. He was probably the most advanced player, right? I don't know if he was the best overall baseball player. I mean, both of you were really good, right? Carson Hervey was pretty good too.
yeah.
He was a good player,
Solid hitter.
right? Z was just the best athlete on the field. He was the fastest. He had the best arm. He hit the ball the hardest, but I also think he was physically the most advanced.
By a lot.
Right. He was strong.
Yeah.
Z this year
Funny
at Mars
dude, too.
Hill. What's that?
Funny dude too.
Oh,
Great
God.
personality.
Yes, absolutely. Z this year at Mars Hill on the mound has 9 appearances, started 3 games. He's 1-0, 18 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts. ERA is a little up there, sitting at an 8.84. But hey, man, he's 1-0. Doing it. I don't think he's playing any outfield anymore. Kind of they just got him on the bump. Which he throws really, really hard. Missed most of, if not all of last year with a knee injury. I think he screwed up his knee, had surgery. So I don't think he played a bunch last year. But, getting his opportunity, man. 1-0 in college. I mean, he's doing it. Let's skip over to another one of your former teammates that you guys played against, another driller, Caden French at, let's see, he's at William Peace. Go Pacers. What do you guys got on Frenchie?
Frenchie's a character for sure.
Yeah, it's just another big personality
He's always
guy.
the loudest in the dugout. I mean, he was leadoff hitter, hits the ball all over the field. And he had the injury bug for a little while through his high school days, but when he was healthy, he was really solid. He played on the scout team with me.
Yep.
Top of the lineup guy.
Yep. Frenchie is, seems to be playing a ton. 11 games started, 50 ABs, hitting 240. 10 walks, 5 RBIs. I mean, just seems to be putting together a really nice freshman campaign. For the Pacers there at William Peace. Last but not least, and this is, we talked about this young man a little earlier on one of the other podcasts. Dennis and I, Tim requested that we shout out to Pete Hans. Jimmy, did you ever get a chance to play with Pete?
I did not get to play with him, but I did. I faced him in a couple of scrimmages. I was around him a couple of times.
Okay. All right.
Uncomfortable at bat. Very uncomfortable at bat. That is.
Yeah.
As someone that is on a good day, 5'11", getting in the box against him, very uncomfortable. Yeah,
yes.
Very uncomfortable.
He is 6'7", all of 6'7", 240. It's a lot.
Yeah, I've seen Pete throw plenty of times over the last 3 years. Played just as recently as this summer in the ONSL, and he joined the team mid-season, like 5 or 6 games in, and then coaches knew nothing about him and just said, we have this new kid named Pete Hans, and I knew him, and I knew he was going to shove, and then he threw 3 perfect innings, and he was on a pitch count. So that's the type of pitcher Pete is. He's electric.
He's having a pretty good go of it at Mount Olive. He's 3-0, 14 appearances, 2 starts, apparently throwing out of the back end of the bullpen. He does have a 5.08 ERA and 33 2/3 innings. 35 hits, 17 walks, 32 strikeouts. That's a little too many free passes. Guys are hitting 282 off of him. I hear he runs his fastball up to 95 now. So I don't know if that's good or not from a 6'7", 240-pound pitcher, but somebody told me it was. Especially from that arm slot, right? It's uncomfortable, like Jimmy said. And that, something I love about doing what we do and doing what I do is giving our players, our former players, a chance to come back and help the next generation of guys maneuver around the recruiting landscape the same way that these two had to. And this is two completely different ends of the spectrum, right? Tim's playing in college as a freshman. Jimmy decided not to play in college, to go to a better school, to get an education, still around the baseball program, right? And that's what I love about what we do. And that's what I think that we bring so much value to the world of youth sports is, we take care of our guys. Neither Tim nor Jimmy play for us anymore, and they haven't in a long time. And yet here they are, still around the guys that helped them get into school, helping the next generation get to school. Something that, that I think one of the things I'm most proud of with running this organization. We talked about a couple of their former teammates, and I'm really quickly, guys, I'm going to take a minute to talk about one of my former teammates. Octavio Dotel passed away today at the age of 51 years old. OD and I were teammates with the White Sox and then again with the Dodgers. His locker was next to mine in spring training, my very first big league spring training, next to Octavio. And then I get to the Dodgers and, my first big league call up and, he's there and he's in the locker room and, we know each other and a guy who, I was a reliever when I was in affiliated ball for most of my time. The first 6-7 years I was in affiliated ball, I was a reliever, and OD kind of took me under his wing and taught me how to do things and showed me what it was like to really be a professional. I never really went out a lot as a player, but my September call up, we're in Houston, and OD grabs me one day and he's like, "Hey," "tomorrow, nice pants, nice shoes, and a shirt to the yard." Yeah, man, whatever you say. So, I'm a rookie, so I show up to the yard and I got, nice pants, nice shirt, nice shoes on, and he goes, the game ends and we beat Houston that day. And he goes, "Hey, Poppy, we're going out." Oh boy, here we go. And we end up at this, 5 different bars over the course of the next 5 hours. And, I didn't spend a dime. He literally paid for everything. And it was drinks and shots and it was a good time, man. And he was a great dude and the nicest human being you'd ever meet. Passed away last night in the Dominican Republic. He was at a nightclub and the roof collapsed on him. Died on the way to the hospital. So, one of my favorite teammates, Octavio Dotel. Rest in peace, my friend. Guys, that is going to do it for our podcast today. These two young men sitting in front of us right now, 2 of my favorites that I've ever had the pleasure of coaching and getting to know. And for those of you that have the privilege to get to know them as young men and as baseball coaches, lucky you. Gentlemen, thank you for what you guys do for us and for allowing us to be a part of your journey into the next chapters of your baseball careers. Tim, I know yours is still going on and you're still, fighting for a start on the weekends in college. But you are destined to be a coach one day. And I'm glad that, you're allowing us to let you do that. And Jimmy, I know that you chose a different path in college, and I'm very proud of you for doing that. There's a lot of kids that would make that decision, and it was a tough decision, and you did, and you made it, and you're still involved in the game, and for that I'm very proud, and I'm very grateful that you would choose us to come back and to help these boys. So thank you both very much.
I really appreciate it. I got one last thing to say just about the Lynx organization.
Shoot.
I mean, the growth that I've seen of the organization from when I was 14 and I started playing with you guys to where it is now. I mean, the team that I'm coaching now, when I was that age, this team would blow by the team that I was on. I mean, the skill level and the talent level has just risen and risen and risen every single year. And I mean, these guys are the best guys doing it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak highly enough of how you've ran this organization, Jon. As I've mentioned, I've worked for 2 different organizations now, coached for 2 different organizations, and my experience between those 2 are they're incomparable. The people I get to work with every day here, the kids I get to coach, the coaches that I work with. I mean, it's a blessing in my life to be part of this organization, and I can't wait to see what we do this summer and looking ahead in the next 5 years, what this organization will grow to.
Yeah, boys, we're excited to have you. If there's one thing I can say, it's going to be a good time. So it always is. Cheers to you guys. Octavio, rest in peace. And like, listen, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Jon. Thanks, Tim.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jimmy.